today's show is slightly different because I'm actually speaking English. The reason why I'm speaking English is because my guests tonight are from Jamaica. And first of all, let me introduce them, and then the subject of tonight will become clear. First of all, I have my guest, Paula Hurlock. Welcome, Paula. Welcome to the show. Uh, I'm afraid you have your microphone switched off, so maybe you can switch on
Yes.
your microphone. Yeah,
Hello, hello. Thank you for having me.
it's it's
Big
it's
hello from Jamaica.
yes, I'm very honored to have you on the show, and of course we also have also living in Jamaica, Suriname descendant, Afi Angel, or should I say Afi Angel?
Afi Angel, Angel, same thing. Blessed
Yeah,
love.
great. Well, the reason why you girls are on the show is not such a happy one because we're talking about the hurricane Melissa. In my announcement, I said Melissa still reigns over Jamaica, but of course we know it's only God that reigns over the world. We know this, but it's meant in a more how you say this, it's still happening way. That's why the title is like this. So, what is happening at this particular moment in Jamaica? You girls are there. The storm is now somewhat weeks ago. What is the situation at this particular moment? Who can who can answer this question? Paula?
Yes, I will answer that question. So, just hello to all your listeners. And as it stands, first of all, the storm affected the western part of the island, which means that the rest of the country is okay. So all the part of the east, we are okay, which is good. It's a blessing because we are now the ones that are assisting the persons in the West. Now, um, unfortunately, things are not going as smoothly as one would expect. Or everybody knew when the hurricane was coming because it just sat off the coast of Jamaica for days and days. And then it did some really strange maneuvers, and then it came across 90 degrees, and then it went straight north. So we knew right from the get go when it was landing in Jamaica that the barometric pressure was the lowest in the history of a Caribbean hurricane. So when the hurricane came across, it immediately, based on the barometric pressure, it triggered the catastrophic fund. And so our government was given access to those resources immediately.
Yeah,
So we all assumed that everybody would be mobilized to assist the persons that are impacted by the hurricane. But sadly, today is the 28th of November. It's been exactly 1 month since the hurricane, and the only support that we are really seeing going to the people in St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, and parts of Hanover and St. James are the efforts of the citizens themselves. The celebrity dancehall artists, the athletes, those are the ones that are going out with trucks full of food and water and clothing. One athlete even rebuilt roofs and houses for people. A month has passed. Now our government is setting up field hospitals, and we found out just 2 days ago that they are saying that they have not yet touched the relief funds that they have received
yeah,
from external support.
yeah. As a matter of fact, I have one of your members of parliament who really breaks down about the situation. I'll show that.
We're not
Yeah.
asking because we are greedy. We're asking because the collaboration and the coordination on the ground is not reaching our people. in South St. James. When I'm able to bring 2 bags of food like I did last night to the school at Malden High, they were not able to make breakfast this morning because it could only last 1 day. I'm asking you to help us to airlift some food into the communities, to get the sick people out of the homes and into the hospital. We have some pregnant mothers. We were able to get to the hospital at Cornwall Regional just yesterday. Her baby was not moving anymore in her belly, right? We have an urgent need in South St. James, and I know everybody is trying. All I'm asking is don't forget South St. James in all of this, because we are proud farmers and we want to get back with our lives, but we need the donations to come to us too. We don't want to stay left behind because we're deep rural.
So what is the actual situation at this particular moment, Afi?
It is. I'm getting goosebumps while trying to get the right words. It is petrified. I'm petrified for the people of Jamaica, especially the ones that have been hit. They are still living out on the streets, you could say, because they have not received any trampoline or some material to fix back up, give themselves some coverage to keep themselves safe. There are people in schools at Petersfield and Westmoreland, sleeping on the floor, on desks, children left without mother or father, just babies, infants. Um, there are news out that there are diseases being spread. Mosquitoes, different new mosquitoes are airborne right now. And it's hurting my soul to see that we, as in 2025, after Katrina, after different last year Beryl had passed us, and we were flat for days, and people were expecting it to be bad because it was category 5, but you could never imagine until you see it with your own eyes. And I haven't even seen the real hit parts like Black River, St. Elizabeth. I've reached as far as Montego Bay personally to go check on my children, my sons that reside with their father there. I'm in Portland, Port Antonio myself. And here there were a few trees that dropped, electricity was out and such, but for the most part, everything is back to normal on this end. But to hear daily, I have very much close friends on that side of the island that have lost everything. Farmers, I'm very deep in the farming world. They have lost all their lively generations of lively work has been destroyed, taken away. Certain properties are still, sorry, underwater. um, Children have lost their connection with schools, have been destroyed, and all these things are just crazy for to see that the government is doing absolutely nothing. I have not seen not one picture or tabloid to say that they themselves have been giving out packages. It's just been the opposite parties that really have been out there doing a lot of work. But personally, I have not heard anybody say, "Oh, we've seen such and such."
Yeah.
I don't want to call names, but people of parliament giving out checks or giving out vouchers to go to hardware stores to receive anything. There was a waiver put out that you could receive items and don't have to pay the full price, but when you receive these generators that you purchase, you still have to pay crazy amounts
Yeah.
to clear them.
I see you're getting quite emotional when you speak about this situation, and I guess that the subject you were talking about is about I guess we can call these people like disaster predators who who misuse the situation in order to make some money. and I have a little film about that as well. I'll show you that one.
So while Jamaicans are dealing with this, there are predatory disaster investors looking to cash in. And they do this after almost every natural disaster. They're usually from out of town. They will call people whose homes have been destroyed and offer to buy their land for much less than what it's worth. And this is pretty disgusting because you're talking about people that are still processing the trauma of a natural disaster. Add to that their uncertainty of whether or not they'll be able to afford the repairs, which is how these investors capitalize. Some property owners will agree to sell, and these investors will buy the land for cheap, but the land values come back quickly. The investors then flip the land for 3 to 4 times as much as what they paid, even if they didn't do any repairs. And it's not people from the community that can afford to buy the property, it's those who have no connection to the land, the culture, or the people. Earlier this year, Wired reported how these investors swarmed in on parts of the Midwest. So back in May, 60 tornadoes ripped through the area. The next day, literally as a community looked like this, homeowners started getting aggressive calls asking if they wanted to sell their homes. One man said he got several calls each day for 2 weeks. So imagine trying to deal with this, but also dealing with nonstop calls from predatory investors. And the playbook is always the same no matter where the disaster is. The Hawaii wildfires, Hurricane Katrina, the California wildfires, the list goes on. Sometimes the investors will go house to house, and according to Business Insider, they have a pre-written contract and try to reach an agreement on the spot. So, if you have property or family land in Jamaica and one of these people tries to buy, don't sell. Because when the land leaves your hand, parts of the community go with it.
So this is
And
happening.
that's
This is happening as well in Jamaica.
Yes, because I've had the opportunity to be in touch with a bishop in England that is in the head of the committee of Windrush. That is like the people that have left Jamaica in the 80s, 70s to build the railroad track in England. So they have received grants, which they were then going to use for St. Elizabeth to rebuild a church and several schools. They've been told not to even look at St. Elizabeth, that the government is taking care of that, to look at other parishes to grant their grants to, which is absurd because St. Elizabeth is our breadbasket. That is where 80% of our food, international and here in Jamaica, comes from, you know. And just the other day, to buy one sweet pepper was like in euros, €3 for one sweet pepper. Just
Which
to
is crazy.
imagine. We're
Yeah.
not there yet because we're still living off storage food that is out there to purchase. So
Okay.
imagine in the next several months, Christmas, after Christmas, January, February, people are not able to put any seeds in the ground as yet because the floor is still saturated with water, with contaminated water. So they can't grow anything until they suck those out. And there are no machines out there. There are machines been brought in to rebuild the electricity, which is important. But the water, the wastewater that is laying around just creating havoc is not being sucked up by machines that you see everywhere else in the world happening when that happens, except for Jamaica. And then
Okay.
for the government to say that they're not spending no money, what is the reason? I don't understand it.
Okay. So, Paula, you started, both of you, you started a fundraising campaign. Can you please tell us more about that? Your microphone is not open, Paula.
So we have two options. We can sit and whine and complain and sit by and watch our brothers and sisters sleep under tarpaulins and pieces of wood for a month, or we can try to do something about it. So, as a citizen of this island, I waited patiently 14, 15, 16, 17 days. And when I saw that there was no action towards uh, helping people to rebuild their homes or providing homes for people, I said, you know what, I'm not waiting any longer. Let me initiate a GoFundMe to raise funds for very quick shelter for some of the victims. Now, we can't help everybody, but every single drop counts. One of the container homes that I'm thinking of are basically 9 by 20 container homes. They're soft they're hard PVC, sorry. They have a door and two windows, right? Now, I'd love to be able to buy a big one with a bathroom and a kitchen, but we simply do not have the budget and we want to help as many people as we can. So I said, let's do a GoFundMe. If we get 1,000 people, wherever they are in the world, to donate $50 US, you can
Yeah.
donate less if you want or more if you want. But if 1,000 people donate $50, we'll have the equivalent of 50,000
All right.
US, and
Before
we
you
can buy 10
before,
containers.
Paula, before you go on, I want to show the container that you are talking about. So it's very basic,
Very basic,
but it will do.
very basic, but it solves the problem. Imagine you've gone through the trauma of a category 5 hurricane. You have no house. Your house is now spread out across the land, um, and you have no money, no livelihood. So you are at a complete loss as to where you're going to live and how you're going to afford to build it back. You have no food, you have no water. And so we have almost 30,000 people living like that. No food, no water. If we from Kingston do not take food to them, they have none. A lot of roads are also cut off. So it's not as if they can go jump on a cab and go look for some food. Every supermarket, every hardware, every shop, everything was flattened in Black River, and also in parts of Westmoreland. Flattened. So what we have is a situation where everybody is relying on other people to feed them. And so Jamaicans are resilient. They will want to build back. But what is happening? You have a lot of single women with children. They can't build. And if you carry material for them, some roofing material and some wood, by the morning it's stolen. Why? Because the men are stealing the stuff to sell it so they can make money. So it's a really unfortunate cycle that we have going on. And so that is why we opted to go with the container homes. They're quick. When you drop them, you open them, and someone can live in it within 6 hours, right? It's not the ideal and it's not permanent, but it's a start. And the important thing is that you have to understand that we have an entire population that is in that area that are suffering from PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder. In fact, they're not suffering. They didn't suffer from it. They are still in it
Hmm.
because every
Okay.
time it rains, there everything wets up again.
Okay, I don't want to be the one to let's say uh, spoil the idea, but I just want to be critical about it. So let's say we get these containers done. How will we get them to the places where they are really needed? Because I imagine that the infrastructure is really uh, torn down.
So the cost of those containers include the delivery and installation. And we can only deliver those containers in locations where it's relatively flat and the truck and the crane can work. So this is why to me it works beautifully because there are other people that are not in favor of container homes and they want to build. So for those areas where it's a little bit more difficult terrain, then those options of building the homes are perfect. Yeah. So I feel as if this whole initiative is working in tandem, it's complementary to what other people are doing, because there are other people who are building wooden homes. It's a little bit slow because we do not have as many skilled persons as we would like. And, as I said before, everybody has to leave Kingston and go down to the west to do the construction. So, construction can take 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 weeks. We don't have any more time for people to be outside. They've been outside for a month already and they
Yeah.
are suffering.
But the government has a big responsibility in this. I mean, the Jamaican government. And have you been in contact with them? Have you told them about your ideas? Because you know,
So, so,
That's sorry. Go ahead. That's the
so,
thing that everybody says. The government got trillions of dollars, and why are we even thinking of trying to help? But if we sit by side and just wait for them to do something, people will die, literally die.
yeah,
mhm,
yeah,
Get colder,
they,
people
they,
are starving, you know.
yeah,
yeah. So the government says they have a plan,
Hmm.
but we don't know what the plan is. I think it's the duty of the government to communicate with people because we have been helping. So, wouldn't it be wonderful if the government could lay out a plan and then we could see how we fit in as citizens and we could work in tandem in a complementary way? It's not as if people are not reaching out to the government. There's a bit of tone deafness with the government where they have their own plan and they're going to roll it out. Yeah. Now, I don't like to go on a platform like this and talk about conspiracy theories, but there is the whole idea of the smart city being rolled out specifically in the area that was decimated. And so there are some people that believe that these funds that they're holding is going to be specifically towards the build out of the smart cities. We don't know. That's theory. But the length of time that they're sitting on the funds and not releasing it for the people, they've spent on infrastructure, but for some strange reason, infrastructure is more important than people. And this is a humanitarian issue, and we do not feel as if the level of urgency that is required for the human element right now is where it needs to be.
yeah. But then when you take an initiative like yours, I mean, okay,
Yeah.
let's say we get 50 people who are capable of putting 1,000 euros. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Then you would have
Hmm.
50,000 euros. How
Hmm.
many containers would you be able to buy?
With that money, I don't know what the conversion between euro. We'd be able to buy 10 containers.
Yeah. So with 50,000, we have 10 containers. And how many
Yes.
containers are needed?
Ugh.
If we really, if
Hundreds.
yeah,
Hundred.
100.
Hundreds.
No,
Hundreds. This project that if you go into the GoFundMe, the details, I put it as a 12-month project and I say 10 containers per month because I'm being realistic. Because there's something called donor fatigue where everybody's going to be tired of giving money, right? But at least if we get 10 families with roofs over their head before Christmas, before the new year, that would be a drop in the bucket, but it would be a drop that is not there now. You know, I would love if other people would also come up with initiatives that could raise funds. And so, if 20 people are doing 10 containers, it would be beautiful, right? But we have to start somewhere. You know, my fellow citizens have been doing the blankets, the food, the water, all of those things, right? And they've not been thinking about the roofs over their head. So I see that as a gap, which is why I created the GoFundMe.
yeah.
Yes,
Well,
because if you look at paid places as Port of Spain, where in Haiti that has been hit by that earthquake, people are still living in tents there. And I recall 86 million was gathered in Holland when that had happened. And I still don't understand. This just to show you how people are or in Sudan. There's so much places right now that are dying for help or crying for help and not receiving any. And I'm grateful for the people here in Jamaica, like the artists, the athletes, the neighbors of other parishes that have come in and helped their fellow people here in Jamaica, because that is really the stronghold that is still keeping Jamaica together. And that is the beauty of this disaster, is that you see what Jamaica is made of, that the love is real and the energy is real, that people want people to succeed and rise again. And that gives me hope,
Yeah.
but to look at the government, to look at them, it gives me no hope.
Okay, I must say that for an island that is so well known because of the reggae that comes from Jamaica, where there is yeah, so much music and so much knowledge coming from Jamaica. I must say that here in Holland we hardly know anything about what you are telling us today. I mean, we don't know anything about the situation there, and for us it's like the storm is over. You know what I mean? It's over. But when I listen to you, then I realize that the storm ain't over, it has just begun.
And
And
I'm afraid to say that it might get worse before it gets better.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely, absolutely.
Especially if
I
people will not see us as a place that needs help, because the media puts out that we are getting so much reliefs and funding from
yes, all
insurances
over.
and
yeah. Okay, and we're nearly we have like 3 minutes left on the show. So tell me, this is your chance to still call out and ask the people to help Jamaica. This is what I can do. I mean, I'm a program maker, so I make programs. This is what I do. I give you the platform to say what you want to say. So the camera is yours, I would say. Paula.
Well, first of all, let me thank you for, allowing us to speak on your platform to a group of people that perhaps had no idea how dramatic the situation is. Um, I am speaking in US dollars because the containers are sold in US dollars. So each container is about 5,000 US. And so it, how I predicted it is if we have 1,000 people
Yes.
uh, donating the equivalent of 50 US dollars, we would be able to buy 10 containers. They will be delivered and installed there. And there are other people also donating. They will help with furniture, they will help with cooking facilities, they will help with bathrooms and so on. But right now, the people are in desperate conditions. They're sleeping under trees with tarpaulins draped. If it rains, everybody gets wet. Some people are sleeping in schools on desks, on the ground, you know. So it's the least we can do. We're also going to try to get some solar generators because the power grid is down in those locations. And we're also going to be getting seedlings for little crops, 2-month crops, 3-month crops that they can plant and they'll be able to feed themselves. So we're looking at a little bit more holistic approach than just giving them water and giving them food. We're giving them the peace of mind that they need to be able to start over again. A lot of little girls are out there. There's a lot of predators there, and this is the perfect environment. It's dark every night. There's no doors to protect your children. So the situation is dire. So
Yeah.
we really would appreciate your donations. It doesn't matter how small, it's going to add to what we have pulled together, and we're going to be able to make a difference for at least 10 families
Okay. At the
before the end of the year.
at the I will put a link in the in
In the description.
yes, in the posting of the video. And Afi, last word for you.
yes, thank you everybody out there for listening. And I support Paula Hurlock with her funding raised for the homes, because I see it's very important for the future of Jamaica. It's not for now. The food and all the donations, the clothes, all of it, please keep on sending it. There are many other platforms out there, and please look at private sectors, because the government likes to put out to only send it to the government run foundations, but please, they've received enough and they are being very um, how could I say, Grinch about the situation, about the money, the spending, and also there are a lot of people out here that don't have any means of reaching out to people, but they are in need of people to come in and helping and keep coming in and keep helping, because it's a tight situation of life and death, and it's serious. And all Caribbean, Maya Motley's been here, and she even said like it's like an atomic bomb that has exploded, but it's the love and the unity that keeps it together. And I give respect and love to all the ones out there in the front line, Donisha, uh, all the artists. There's too many names, but I have respect for a lot of people out there that are doing the work, because it is a lot, and we
Yeah.
keep on coming with the donations.
Yes, yes. And
It's
and what
little.
our
It's a lot.
containers that we get, the containers that we get, we're going to be giving it to those people that we see with our eyes are doing the work. So
Yeah,
Donisha, Andre Stevens, Nikki Z, the people that are not just going there, dropping and going back. They're there in the trenches with the people, organizing, mobilizing, assisting, comforting, because all of this is needed. All of
yes,
it is needed.
it is.
Okay, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I'll donate myself. You know what I mean, and what I can give. I'm not very rich, but I guess every little bit helps. And I wish you luck with your quest. And I hope it's not only good for Jamaica, but it's good for the world if we can help each other. Thank you very much for your appearance in the Ala Dey Show. And
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
as the
you.
people say in India, and the people who have those beliefs, Namaste, which means
Namaste.
See you.
Namaste, which means the God in me greets the God in you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Yeah. See you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.